I don't necessarily find him a threat to the community. I do find that he is a threat to Ms. Hermanson. This is a case of the people of the state of Michigan versus Scott Matthew Hermanson, case number 254025FY. We're here for an arraignment. Are you Mr. Hermanson?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You met with somebody from Community Corrections. I assume it was this morning. You gave them some contact information, address, phone number, and email address. Is that information accurate?
Yes, yes, Your Honor.
The Crosby Road address, do you still receive mail at that address?
Yes, but it's being forwarded to my brother's house.
Okay. What is that? Do you know that address?
It's like 902 Sunnyside. Or it's, I mean, you know, they're picking it up and bringing it over there. You know,
Okay, so the mail is still being delivered to the Crosby Road address?
that's correct.
All right. Did you have the opportunity to meet with somebody from the defender's office today?
I did, Your Honor.
I have a complaint that alleges that on or about September 3rd, 2025, in the city of Cadillac of Wexford County, it is alleged in count number 1, you committed the offense of arson second degree. That is a felony punishable by up to 20 years in prison and or $20,000 or 3 times the value of the property taken. In count number, I'm sorry, not taken, but damaged. In count number 2, it is alleged you committed the offense of domestic violence upon Lisa Hermanson. That is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 93 days in jail and or a fine of $500, and consecutive sentencing may apply if it happened in a place of confinement. Do you understand those charges and the potential penalties?
I do, Your Honor.
On felony complaints, you have certain rights. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say or write can and will be used against you. You also have the right to have an attorney present during any questioning that you consent to, and you have the right to stop answering questions at any time. You also have the right to have an attorney appointed. You have the right to have an attorney at all phases throughout this process. And if you cannot afford one will be appointed to represent you at public expense, but you may be required to repay a portion of that expense. Do you understand that?
I do, Your Honor.
Today, do you plan to hire an attorney, represent yourself, or request the appointment of an attorney?
I plan to hire another attorney. Yes.
Do you have the financial means to hire an attorney?
Yes.
All right. And I will mark that you plan to hire an attorney. Or will enter a not guilty plea on your behalf, and we'll set the matter for a preliminary examination. That's a hearing that's held here in the district court within 21 days. At that hearing, the prosecution is required to prove 2 things: 1, probable cause that the crime had occurred, and 2, probable cause that you were the person who committed the offense. If the prosecution is not able to do that, the case would be dismissed. If they are able to do that, you'd be bound over to stand trial in circuit court. Do you understand that?
I do, Your Honor.
Prior to that, there'll be a probable cause conference, which is an opportunity for your attorney and the prosecutor to meet to see if there's a way to resolve the case short of going to trial. You also have the right to have a bond set. Your bond is based upon the probability of you appearing at future court appointments, the seriousness of the offense charged, and the threat that you pose to the public. Historically, counsel, I show an 04 an operating while visibly impaired, 04 some sort of ordinance violation as a misdemeanor, and an 18 an operating while visibly impaired. There was a domestic handled in Haida back in 03. And then in 2000, there were 2 convictions out of the Washington Naval Yard for a wrongful use and a larceny and wrongful appropriation. Any comment regarding bond, Ms. Amaro?
Yes, Your Honor. The defendant has another place that he's able to live. The allegations obviously are that he burned down his residence. So he is living with his employer, who's kind enough to let him live there. That address is 125 Industrial Drive. He's would be living with Justin Schaefer. That's at Reliable Roofing and Siding. Like you said, he was planning on getting another attorney, but I don't think the allegations paint the picture of someone who's a danger to the community at large. I think that there are supervisory steps that can be taken. He does have some criminal history, but the majority of it is older, quite old in fact. I would ask for a personal recognizance bond. Thank you. And he also turned himself in.
Thank you. Mr. Kelly?
Thank you, Your Honor. The allegations here are that the defendant used gasoline to start a fire, I think halfway down the stairs in a house that he shared with his wife that they were renting from his mother-in-law. This conduct is extremely dangerous to the community. I think the primary target was himself, but obviously fire spread. So the people are concerned here about community safety. I would ask for a $200,000 bond, a condition of no alcohol with random testing, and no contact orders with Lisa Hermanson and Rosemary Guzmano.
Who is Miss Rosemary? Who is that?
That is the owner of the house.
And the reason for the no alcohol?
It is alleged that he had been drinking at the time. Both Ms. Hermanson say that, as well as I think defendant's brother had mentioned that as well.
Thank you. Were there any threats made against Rosemary? Allegedly?
No, Your Honor, she wasn't, she doesn't live at this address. It's just, she's the homeowner, so I consider her a victim. And that's the reason for the contact order.
Well, prior to taking the bench, I had reviewed the probable cause affidavit in this case, and I have to say it was quite concerning, at least as presented in the affidavit, that the court uses to find probable cause. That it was alleged that there had been an argument over a laptop that went on for about 20 minutes. And then Mr. Hermanson allegedly states he's going to burn the place down, grabs a gas can, starts dumping gas. Then a struggle ensues. The alleged victim in this case is covered in gasoline, and then he makes a statement along the lines of, you better get your dogs out of here, as he's holding a lighter. And a short period of time later, the house is up in flames. The praxis does score him at a risk level 2. I note that the majority of the defendant's history does evolve around alcohol. Well, I don't know what the wrongful use is out of the, I believe you were in the Marine Corps, if I remember correctly. I don't know what that is in regards to, but the larceny and wrongful appropriation would go to some sort of property crime, and I'm not sure what the ordinance violation goes to. While I do find the defendant is a threat, I don't necessarily find him a threat to the community. I do find that he is a threat to Ms. Hermanson. So I do believe that some bond conditions are going to be necessary here. Yes.
One of the reasons I set myself up in Buckley is to completely remain away from my wife and I haven't made any attempts to contact her, and I plan on making no attempts to contact her.
Okay.
I understand the damages that I caused. And I don't know.
Sir, I don't want you to say anything that can be used to implicate you in the case. I know what you're trying to do, and I thank you for that, but I don't want you to say anything that could be used against you in the case. So I understand that you've taken steps to remove yourself from any temptation to be around her. So, all right. So, sir, I'm going to, and I'll also state that the fact that the defendant turned himself in bodes well in his favor. Sir, you are to appear as ordered to keep your contact information current, not leave the state without permission, and to commit no new crimes. I'm going to order that you not have any contact with Ms. Hermanson or Hermanson? Hermanson. No contact with Lisa. No contact means no contact of any kind, not by phone, text, email, social media, or anybody acting on your behalf.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm also ordering that you not purchase or possess any firearms or weapons, that you not act in any threatening, intimidating, or harassing behavior. You say you work for a roofing business, is that?
That's correct, Your Honor.
And are you in this area or
No,
what's your work
it's
range?
generally Traverse City and north. You know, we work in Petoskey, Charlevoix. It's north. We don't, you know, there's a couple roofing companies right here in Cadillac that have. So we
And
don't
how-
have to take any jobs south of Traverse City.
How far in advance do you know your work schedule as far as where you're going to be?
We're good 6 weeks in advance. Yeah.
All right. then what I'm going to do is I'm going to allow you to remain out on a personal recognizance bond. But I'm going to order that you be on GPS house arrest. Now, I'm going to allow you to leave for work. And other conditions set by community corrections. All right. So what they're going to require is your work schedule, so they know where you're at and your work hours. And I realize roofing is seasonal, or not necessarily seasonal, but you're kind of at the behest of the weather. I understand that. And they understand that also. But these are some pretty serious allegations. I want you to be able to continue to work, but I also need to be able to protect her as well. So
Yes, Your Honor.
that's why I'm putting these in place. Okay. You can go with the deputy. You'll get your next court date before you leave the jail. You'll have to make sure that you get that tether put on community corrections, and you'll receive instructions for that at the jail.
Yes, Your Honor.
Hey, thanks for watching. Please do let us know in the comments what you thought of this video. If you'd like to support what we do here, the best way to do it is to pick up some of our merch. You can find it at courtroomfiles.com.